What a horrible loss this is going to be for the Sacramento Kings. It's a wrap, y'all. They can already pack up their bags and be ready for Wake because they played like shit out there today. And I was not expecting that from the Sacramento Kings. Personally, I thought they were going to really put up a fight and go for it and really pull this game together because in my bracket, I had them over Dallas and I saw them playing OKC. But I guess I didn't know what they were capable of playing like absolute shit tonight. That was horrible. This game, they had way too many bad plays. They messed up. Even in the fourth quarter, and I had to turn the game off. That's how bad it got because I just couldn't keep watching it. But hey, kudos to the Dallas Mavericks because they clearly pulled this off without Kyrie Irving. And also, I want to give a lot of credit to Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was huge. He played a lot in this game. It seemed like AD played the damn whole game, damn near played the whole game because he was almost every possession he was on the floor for the most part. So I got to give a lot of credit to Anthony Davis. And he's really, he had last time when I was watching the game, he had about 25 points. So he pretty much, is helping the Dallas Mavericks pull this off. Now, I initially picked the Grizzlies over the Kings if the Kings were going to win, right? But now, since they're going to play Dallas, I'm still gonna stick to my initial pick, but I feel like currently, as of right now, looking at it, Dallas might be able to beat the Grizzlies too, and Dallas might actually play OKC in the first round. But we have to wait. It's not over till it's really over. So let's see how Dallas will play in the Grizzlies game. But the way they played, I gotta give them a lot of credit because what they're going through right now, man, they playing through a lot of emotion right now. AD coming to the squad, then getting hurt, and this whole season for Luca and AD, I don't care how much people say, they've gotten used to it. It's been a little time. It's an awkward one because the trade literally happened in the middle of the season, so that really throws a lot a lot of stuff off for these guys. These guys, they play a long season, 82 games, and then they got a long postseason to play after that. So it definitely messed a lot of things up for both of them psychologically and just their whole routine and the way they go about things in the middle of the season to get traded. So, definitely this season I gotta give Anthony Davis credit. He did get hurt when he landed, and then again, injuries is not, the players can't control when they're gonna get hurt or what's gonna happen to them out on the floor. But so far, I like what Anthony Davis is showing. Moving forward, can he keep that up? We don't know because when he was on the Lakers, I had the same issue with Anthony Davis. The consistency thing has always been an issue for Anthony Davis. And I feel like a lot of the times on the Lakers, every time he was doing good, the Lakers were rolling. But every time he kind of fell into a slump, that's when things look real ugly for the Lakers. And that's when, sometimes at certain points in those last couple seasons, we would slip up and kind of fall into a slump and everybody be talking crap about the Lakers. There's so many Laker haters out there that everybody just loves seeing the Lakers fail. When the trade happened, in the area I live, everybody said, "Oh, this trade ain't gonna work out," and I said, "Give it time. Y'all speaking too soon because y'all haven't even seen what Luca brings to the table." But if Luca would have gotten traded to their favorite team, oh, it would have been a great trade, best trade of the year. So there's a lot of people that hate the Lakers, and it's all right. You can't control what people think or say, so you just go with the flow. But yeah, man, I think this Kings and Mavericks game is about damn near over. So let me just pull up the score for y'all and see how they ended up doing. I think the game is probably over by now. So let's see. I'm gonna just check the stats real quick for y'all on the computer. Yep, Dallas won the game. Congrats to Dallas, hey. Almost everybody counted the Mavericks out. At least the people I talked to. So, It's just I just didn't see them winning because I felt like, without Kyrie it was hard. But you see, like if you look at the stats for Dallas, you know, Davis had a pretty good game. Davis had 27 points, 9 boards, 3 blocks, one assist, 1 steal, but it's the 3 blocks and the 9 rebounds and 27 points. He had, like, before the season ended, a couple games, he had a damn near quadruple. I remember, like, he had 7 blocks. He was 3 blocks away from getting a quadruple, and he would have been the first player ever, I think, in the history of the NBA to accomplish that. So you know, AD, like I said, AD is playing through a lot of emotion right now. Luka's also playing through a lot of emotion. And, these guys, at times they seem to find themselves in a good spot and they turn it up a notch and things go their way. And then but it's the NBA. You're required to play on a high level every single night. So it gets hard to keep up with the consistency and stay consistent because it's impossible to keep playing at a high level every given night. Now, I do want to say one thing though. Yeah, these guys get paid to play sports professionally, but then again, they're only human, so we can't really give them too much crap. But I just feel like the Kings could have done a better job. But hey, if the Kings aren't playoff ready, they're not playoff ready. I'm sorry, y'all King fans. This season, I think they had a better season like a season or 2 seasons ago. They had such a better season compared to this season. And they also had a trade midway through the season. So, you know, with them, it kind of messed things up for them too. It's just hard to keep everybody on the same page. That's literally like the toughest thing because you got 15 guys on one roster. So it happens. So yeah, and they also don't have De'Aaron Fox no more. So because they traded him for DeRozan, and now they also got Zach Levine. So they thought and DeRozan had a pretty good game. I'm not gonna lie, he had 33 points, he had 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. He went out there and tried to do his thing. He tried, but it just was like the rest of the team. I feel like they just played like crap, man. They made so many mistakes, so many sloppy plays that it just was looking funny out there, I feel like. And personally, like I said, now we're going to see when Dallas plays against the Grizzlies if they play the same way. Are they going to be playing more, like sloppy against Grizzlies, but they dominated against the Kings? Because that also happens a lot, especially with the Lakers too. I mean, no disrespect, but the Lakers could lose to one of the worst teams in the NBA, but on the next night in the regular season, I'm just saying, they win to against the best team in the NBA. So it's like ups and downs, but I hope Dallas really takes care of business against the Grizzlies if they really beat the Grizzlies, because I initially have the Grizzlies over whoever was gonna win this game. I've still picked the Grizzlies to go further, but if they win, they're really gonna shock me. But I don't see them beating OKC. Not a chance. If they had Kyrie, maybe. But without Kyrie, just Anthony Davis, I don't think so. Unless they really like. There's like a 1% chance though. Very slim chance of that happening. So I don't see that happening. But let's see what kind of a game Klay Thompson has. Was Klay even playing? Because Klay recently had his minutes cut. Yeah, Klay's not even playing. He didn't even play this game. This is crazy. So Klay got injured, huh? Or what's... I read something recently about Jason Kidd cutting his minutes due to his lack of defense. Now, I don't know if that was false news or real news, but let's look it up. Klay Thompson injury status. I really didn't watch the whole game. I just kept going in and out of the game because I kind of saw it coming. But I felt like by the fourth quarter maybe Kings were gonna try to make a comeback, but they just really lost it tonight. Well, now they go on off season and now they have another, um, you know, uh, off season to figure things out and hopefully build a better team next year and stand a better chance of actually trying to have some playoff success. So Clay was available. I think Clay just yeah, Clay. I don't. Oh no, Clay did play. Okay, okay. I must have missed him on the list. No, Clay did play. Clay had 23 points. No, Clay did play. He was injured, but he was available to play tonight. Yeah. The only guy that was out was Spencer Dinwiddie, and I'm not gonna lie. Dallas ran with their guys. P.J. Washington, 17 points. Anthony Davis, 27 points. Clay had 23 and Dante had 11. So, all around, Dallas produced pretty well and they made it happen when it mattered the most. But, man, Dallas really, gave the Sacramento Kings ass whooping. Like, and they did it for free. I'm not going to lie. That's crazy. So, tomorrow we have the Heat playing the Atlanta Hawks. And then I think Dallas will play tomorrow, it looks like. Yeah, so they'll play against the Grizzlies to close things out, and then Saturday is when the Lakers will play their first game. Now, I made a little post and I said Lakers in five. I don't know if y'all agree with me or not, but I'm gonna stick to my word, and I don't see at most the Lakers might lose like 2 games to the Wolves, but I'm still sticking with Lakers in five. I just hope everybody stay healthy, like I always say, because health really is the biggest thing that will cause you know your team to not be successful, especially in the postseason. But other than that, I don't see any other problems. Now the Lakers do kind of gotta protect the paint a little because they got Randall and Randall's a monster, So they gotta kind of do a better job. They gotta really put Jackson Hayes on them and make sure Jackson Hayes comes to play his A game because you can't take any chances because the the Wolves are pretty much a team. They're capable of beating anybody in the NBA on any given night. Look what they did to Denver last year. So nobody saw that coming. Everybody favored them out, and then Ant Man does what he does, and he really beat the Nuggets. So, and that was the first time anybody else had beat the Nuggets in quite some time. So, especially in the playoffs. So that was a huge deal around the NBA. So, they could do it. I just feel like they gotta really come collected and come together as a team and really make it happen for it to actually you know happen. But I see the Lakers winning this series in five. Agree with me or not, I don't care. I'm gonna put it out there and hopefully it happens. Hopefully I'm not wrong, but if I'm wrong, it's not a problem. It is what it is. So just my prediction, and y'all don't have to agree with me. So but what an upsetting loss that was for the Kings. I was undefeated yesterday. All the picks I made yesterday, I was good. The teams I picked, they actually won. And today's the first L I took because the Kings didn't have it together tonight. But it is what it is. It's the NBA, like I said. So there's always gonna be nights where you're gonna get surprised and things gonna happen that you wouldn't expect to happen, but that's all part of it, and that's what makes this sport of basketball so fun to watch. But anyways, let me know what y'all think. I kind of want to just real quickly hop on here and kind of share with y'all how I felt about this game. This is right after the game, while the game was going on, but the game, it's been done now for some time. But I just really wanted to get this off my chest and let y'all know. If y'all been enjoying the content on the channel, please subscribe. Also like this video, share it, and I'll see y'all whenever I see y'all.